see a live one. Okay, welcome all to the February 4th meeting of the Dudley Board of Water and Sewer Commissioners. I have to advise everyone this meeting is being recorded. We start every meeting in Dudley with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, meeting minutes from January 7th.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from January 7th, 2026.
Oh yeah, that's a typo,
Yep,
a rare typo.
fire me.
Okay, motion's been made, seconded. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And accept the minutes but not release for the executive session we had on January 7th.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes but not to release from executive session from January 7th, 2026. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, tie and bond card. Did everybody see the email update from Jeff Faulkner that came out yesterday, I believe?
Yep.
Okay. Questions on?
Why are they doing the ASR? That's confusing to me. Why is Ty and Bond doing the ASR, the annual stats report?
Because we've already got the M36 audit going on. If we screw it up, it's gonna not even make them any sense. Every time we try to do something, we get screwed on it. It doesn't come out where it should come out.
Yeah, but Ty and Bond's not gonna have any of your annual stats report information. That all comes from you, so
You know, it
you're
comes-
gonna have to put it all together anyways.
I mean, we made attempts at that many years, and it always seems to come out wrong. And now that they've done the full audit, we don't wanna end up making it worse and start having another problem. So, and
All
plus,
it is a list of all the numbers that you submit.
you know,
You can't change the numbers. Well, they are what they are.
we can try to come up with something on it and see what happens with it.
Everything they're gonna do is just gonna get all the information from you, and they're gonna stick it into the report. How much are they charging for that?
No, I haven't seen any. I haven't seen a.
7,500 or something like that? Or less than that, somewhere in there.
I haven't seen.
I haven't seen anything from Ty and Bond for
I think
that.
it's 7,500.
He doesn't have a proposal yet for it.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned
Well,
the
then-
sewer collection systems report is due in March? Thought it was due by the end of January.
Only in the March.
So we did the one, we already did the,
The connection,
right, the one that's due by the end of the March is the one that we have to file with Webster. The NDP.
Yep, these.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
budget for, did he give you an estimate on what the budget for design for the Patterson Ave station?
We haven't gone that far yet. We're gonna have to get something from him shortly. I've already asked him about it. Get something together. Coming on the capital improvement, it's gonna be over $20,000-$30,000 for that.
For the design?
No, to do the station itself, but we need a design plan.
It's gonna be way more than that.
Well,
The engineering's gonna be more.
yeah, the engineer, but we can do something with it without it going through engineering, but that's not really a smart move. Well, there's a way to make a system change in there.
Yeah, but if they're designing a replacement pump station, I'll bet you the design's gonna be over $100,000. And the station will probably be
The station,
500.
the station takes care of 15 houses, basically. I mean, almost worth it to put injector pumps in the houses than the station itself. But it's just a small station, very, very small components in it, so I don't see it a big deal, except for the fact parts are hard to find.
How many, 15 houses?
About 15 houses, somewhere in there, maybe a little less.
Yeah, it's just Patterson Ave.
That's it, just Patterson.
Just parts of Patterson Ave, really, right? The two on the very end are gravity into the well. And the top ones actually are into the, so it's, yeah, it's 15, if not 13.
Yeah, it's somewhere in that, let's say 13, 15, 15. We use 15 as the number right now. But they're gonna fix it tomorrow. finally get the parts, but they have to put the pumps and everything together. The components don't come together, otherwise you gotta wait 16 weeks. So they were doing it, and they ordered the parts for it, now they're gonna put it all together tomorrow.
Was that LaFleur?
No, that's Patriot Pump and Mike's Fall.
Patriot, okay.
Yeah, both have to pipe stuff in and all that.
Okay. Anything else?
Did they give you a price on the GAC?
Yeah, that was
Yeah. It's,
expensive.
Yeah.
as of right now, I had a conversation with Derek, and with similar,
Media?
with similar towns, systems, the problem is, right now, DEP pushing you replace with the same media, and the disposal of the media, what has to be done with it. So, in worst case, it's looking at this time, $350 to $500.
Dollars?
Yeah, wish.
Dollars, but
$100,000.
there's more zeros there. He feels that it should come in on the lower side of that, but until they actually go through and complete in the proposal, he won't put a tighter number than that. So,
When are we looking at doing that?
being replaced spring of '27.
Or spring of 27,
Seven.
okay, so it'll be in the next budget year, but,
Have we got breakthrough?
We have nothing over the limits in the midpoint between the two vessels at this time.
And are they claiming we need to replace it before it breaks through all the way?
No, but when I had a conversation with Paula, you should start looking at it, because it gradually, it has a slight snowball effect. You don't just get 1 point every single month. Eventually, you're gonna get 1, then 1.5.
one, and then you're gonna
so-
get 30, yeah.
And being almost a year out, it would be irresponsible not to at least have a plan in place and ready to go for when it happens, instead of running around, because at this point, if we're doing a proposal and design of it, and it happening in the spring of next year, if they push it off again, we would be under the gun at the mercy of whoever wants to try to do it that fast.
Yeah, but you're running a series, right?
Yes.
So you still have a whole nother tank that hasn't seen any.
We're sampling Friday. We're gonna do the 50% of the lead vessel, the 75% of the lead vessel, and the 25% of the lag vessel, to see where we stand. And we'll probably, over the next couple of months, start incurring the cost of having to do the extra ports.
And they're still making you do trip blanks?
Field blanks, yeah.
Yes.
But we're combining them for certain
The argument,
testing.
we've gotten the argument at least of, per the area of it. So,
They haven't come back at us for doing area coverage, so we're gonna stick with that. and see
But are
how
they
it goes.
running the trip blanks, or they're just making you collect them?
they're running
Running
one.
them.
'Cause you shouldn't have to run it unless there's breakthrough in your final sample. It's ridiculous. It's a waste of money.
Yep.
I think you shouldn't have to run one at all. We already know there's one there. I mean, there's
So
something.
you might want to collect this trip blank just in case it shows up in your finished water. And it shouldn't. But unless it shows up in the finished water, you shouldn't have to run the test.
So, and Derek's other suggestion was, if and when we put this out to bid, his verbiage for it was have an on-call where they bid it out for the next, it'd still be able to hold under a year and a half. If you figure it's 2 years under this one, but it's already getting some into the lag vessel, to already have something, so we don't have to go through the full procedure again to do the
second
the
vessel.
lag when we do it, and try to cover us that way, so to reduce some of the cost. But until we know how we have to dispose of it, that's the biggest thing. If we have to destroy it
It has to
and
be
send it to
destroyed
safe
or
harbors,
recycled.
yeah.
Okay,
So do they have to vote on the proposal?
Oh, yeah, there's a proposal
So
for,
for the PFAS water treatment plant meteor evaluation and design development proposal for engineering services.
and what was the amount on it?
25,000.
25,000.
What is that supposed to do?
That's to design to put together the plan
For
for
the media replacement?
the media replacement.
You'd think that would have been included in their design of the treatment plant. You got in the budget, you had 20,000 for GAC,
Yes.
up from 5,000, which was down from 50,000. Is that
We
part of
reduced
that,
it,
or-
in the current budget, we had, what was our current?
Current one, you dropped it to 5,000 from 50,000 last year.
Yes.
That's what it was originally estimated at the cost to replace the meteor. We didn't know how long. it would
That's
We
down
didn't
to
know how long it was
5,000.
gonna last, and I believe the cost originally on just getting the media was around 50. That was cover some of the engineering and whatever else, figuring if anything major, we'd end up doing an article on anyways. Or an appropriation in some sort.
So what does the 20,000 cover?
The 20 was one of the original ideas of what it was until the disposal was, it was gonna be around 200,000, and figured the 20,000 would be a 10% contingency overage or anything else that comes up, type of thing. Because we would we'd have to cover it under engineering this year for the proposal.
Okay, so we do have so we need to sign that, correct?
We need to have a motion.
Well, you gotta vote on it first.
Yeah, motion.
So when you vote on it, probably recommend that we get proposals from other engineering companies to see what their costs would be to do the same work.
I tend to agree. I saw that and I thought that fee was a little high, but
On something that, a treatment plant they designed what the process was, the tanks for collecting the media, for refurbishing. So they wanna charge you $25,000 to tell you what they designed and how to do it. That's what I mean, it should have been included in the design as to operation and maintenance on how to do the work. It should already be spelled out in the manuals on how to do that. Now they're gonna charge you $25,000 for something that we paid them to design to do in the first place.
Is it in the O and M?
That, I don't think so, no.
I have to look at it to see if it, yes or no. I don't have an answer
Should be,
right
there
now.
was a whole discussion on how you bring in the frac tanks there, that's why they designed the pad on the
Yeah,
side
on
of
the
the
side,
tank.
yep.
Originally, we had talked about a tank in the ground, a 30,000 gallon tank, they removed that and put the tanks on the side, so. I mean, to put all that stuff there and design it and then not tell you how to use it, makes no sense to me, it should have been in the O and M manuals. So something we originally, and I think they gave you that number that it could be around 50,000 to replace it, right? Now they're telling you 500,000 and they wanna charge you 25,000 to tell you how to do what they designed in the first place.
One of the issues that the original backwash, and we had the numbers that came with the tanks, the general configuration of doing the backwash and the loading, our system can't produce that amount of volume and whatnot, so we had to redo some of the numbers and figure out what was best to be able to get it out of there, but this, from my understanding, is just basically to handle the bids and everything else. I mean, you would assume that it is just going to be referenced into the original design and how they did it.
Actually, I thought that said that was only going to the 60%. It's going to the 60%, and then it does not include on the last page, it said exceptions.
Exceptions, water quality sampling or analysis, development of the GAC media disposal plan or other waste disposal plan, development of design document from 60% to 100% bid documents, permitting, bidding, and construction phase engineering services.
Those are all excluded?
Yes.
Those were all,
Do you
yeah.
want to take a look at it?
There was quite, yeah, I read through it, and there was an awful lot that was excluded, and I said, what do we, I didn't get a chance to call him
That's why I thought for,
to find out
Price
why,
it just seemed
why
awful
that
high
was, that just seemed kind of odd.
So you can keep going on.
So we can, we can,
So it's not the bidding or permitting or any of that.
so, all right. Eagle Drive update. Clarification of handout regarding charges. Go ahead. You were at the meeting, right?
Yeah, and it simply came, I had a conversation with after, they're gonna send the letter directly out of their office
To,
to the residents
okay,
and not involve you guys with the letter.
Why?
Explaining who's responsible, if the resident's not being responsible for the connections.
yeah, I mean, that, from what I understand, their question was that there are fees listed on there.
Yes,
And that people were concerned that they were gonna have to pay
yes.
those fees.
I was required to set it up that
Oh, you
way.
put a statement on there in red, some other color, just to draw attention to it, that says that the homeowner will not be responsible for any themselves. It will be borne, well, they'll be borne by the project and be done with it.
I asked for copies of what they were discussing, and they said that nothing formal has been done up yet.
Okay,
They're waiting for information from both LSPs and everything, and, yeah, even Jeff Faulkner said that they didn't have anything at this time.
okay.
We're getting 50% design phase. There's a couple of things with this whole thing, which I'm waiting on to see, is what is Gentex gonna do? They wanna still go through Gentex's property to do the line in through there. Unfortunately, they may end up telling them, okay, we'll let you do it, but that negates what we have as responsible for payment on our portion of it. I told them, you still have the avenue to come in the other side. I'm even looking more at the paper road from the Joshua Place area. Come down, come under the horn and go in a certain way that way, okay? Might be just one easement to go through on the tip of the end of their property in Gentex. But like I said, nothing can be done yet until they know where this Gentex stands in there, what they want to do. I've asked and asked and asked, what's the final thing? You're running out of time here if you want to start making plans, because the surveying would have to be redone again and all that, so they have to make a decision about this fairly soon.
Okay. Anything else from those meetings?
Just
We're
basically,
dependent on you guys. to,
yeah, no, it's basically that
get
kind of
us the
thing right there. So
information.
everything's a waiting game at this point right now to see what.
Okay,
The biggest thing, the reason why they wanted to give the homeowners the letter was so they need a sign-up deadline
right.
for the design phase for the cutoff of either for the homeowner to say yes or no if they're gonna be connected and determining what the cost, for per home.
Right.
For everything else. So that was their ask on the letter so they could get it out.
Yeah, my recollection from the attorney when he was in at our meeting was that they wanted the letter to come from us to say the homeowners wouldn't be charged, and I disagree with us sending that letter. That should come from the town, they can state, if it comes from us, I want them to draft something up that says that the town, under what GL number and everything else, is gonna pay for those fees, because we're not waiving those fees. Those fees are to cover maintenance on the distribution system and to repair things as they break.
Okay. Hydrant flow test. Question of charges?
Well, you guys brought that up again. You wanted to set some kind of plan up for a charge for hydrant flow tests to be done. What do we do, about 5 a year, somewhere in there? Give or
Getting
take.
more frequently.
Is it more frequently?
It's getting more frequent.
We don't have a set fee in there, and we're dumping water, we've got guys committed to it, all that kind of thing, so
This
you
would
should
be
have
a fee,
something,
And
and a record of what,
that's
for
what I'm
us.
saying, it gives you a form to fill out, and
Right.
you account for the water. Part of your MS 36 is you can't account for your water. You're doing all these hydrant flow tests that all they're doing is dumping 30,000 gallons of water on the
And possibly causing disruption of the dirt and debris coming out of the pipes.
mains and dirty water, and you guys gotta go out and flush more.
And when they call, they're always, is there a fee associated? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, there
Oh.
should be, because they'll
That's
run
what I'm
3 or
like,
4 of them, they
they're-
don't care if it doesn't cost anything.
Exactly.
Can you work something up for next month? About what would be a reasonable?
You don't charge, do you, Bob, on yours?
Not yet, but it's on my list of things to do.
Yeah, we can come up with something. We'll come up with.
What's this, like insurance companies and things like that asking for it?
It's anybody.
Anybody, sprinkler companies
Sprinkler
primarily.
systems.
Companies?
Yeah.
Or if they're gonna do a development, they wanna know what they're gonna have for fire flows, for insurance purposes.
Yeah, it's a whole mess of people involved.
40Bs are all.
We'll come up with something new.
Okay,
Fair, maybe.
But it ties up our guys' time,
Yes.
dirty water complaints, we gotta go out and flush more water. Like I said, part of their unaccounted for comes from that.
Would we want to limit the timeframes that they can do it? Like this time, like January to March?
Oh, yeah,
No,
you can't
like,
do
and
it
sh-
outside of,
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
go within the
yeah.
weather permitting season and stuff,
yeah,
but
do it in February when it's.
we have to flush the mains before that.
Why
that
don't
test
you do one
occurs.
on Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll be it.
It's gonna be down around 0. Your Cub Scouts in the
Hard
building.
shut-off dates.
Yeah. Have it, that's something else, that way I'll have what you want.
yeah, I mean, if you wanna put something in there as to an emergency situation where they need to get fire flow data, you put a much higher fee, cause you could require a highway to go out and salt the roads and everything else after you do it, so. Help with those things.
Okay, anything else on that? then? You can have something for us for next month?
Yep.
Okay. Annual budget review, fiscal 27 budget review. This, that's the 2 color sheets. These are, the first run of the proposal for next year's budget. And it includes, looks like it includes the last 4 years. And so 4 years plus, 3 years plus this year and the proposed. So. I don't know if anybody's had a chance, I know Brian, you sent these out the other day.
I sent them out individually, so if there was any questions or concerns, that we wouldn't violate open meeting by mistake, so.
Okay, and I know I called him with my questions.
I did a little bit of analysis. I haven't fully completed it, but I was comparing budget years to actuals to see how far off we were. Because it doesn't matter what we budgeted in '23, it's what we spent, right? So,
Yeah,
I've only gone through water, but most lines were within 10%. It was, it wasn't like there was a, so everything is targeting where we think it is. I'm assuming sewer will be the same, but.
Yes and no, and the hard part on those is at the end of the year ones, at some point, we may have had to.
Well, and you can see, like, if you look at the accounting ledger, like, there's adjustments that you have to,
Yeah.
dip down to fiscal year, so.
Yeah, if there was stuff left, like 2,000 left in education, and we were short, it may have been supplemented someplace else in the budget.
Yeah.
The
Bottom
pays,
lines come out.
yeah. That's why even throughout the year, typically we'll run technically into the negative, knowing that we'd have to take it from someplace else, it's just so we can have an idea of where we're missing throughout the year.
a lot of numbers that we have to wait on to get from, what was the outcome of the debt?
Well, I was able to sit down with Rich, and it was actually very helpful. We went over each one of them. From the original one I sent out to the revised one, we're in much better position. Unfortunately, I didn't get over to Jen early enough. The water debt service is $945, if you want to be able to make a note.
Oh, it's 945 instead of
945. Because when I did it originally, it was just doing the average and rough maths, and there was one interest payment in there that I didn't see that was in it when they
We call it
broke it.
950.
So,
But, okay.
We ended up paying off one of the smaller engineering ones that was from the tank rehabs and whatnot.
Okay. And I know one thing that I questioned Brian on, and I just want to bring it to everybody else's attention, is gasoline. 23 on the water, 20, we went from 9,000 to 20,000 to 20,000, 10,000 for this year to 6,000 for next year. That's going off of off of actual data.
Well, that's what was budgeted. If you look over into the comment column,
Yeah,
those are the respective
historic. Yeah.
fiscal spends.
Yeah,
The 23 and 24 is when we had the constructions, and we're back and forth constantly, and we were running around.
so those are the actual, oh, those are the actual spends?
The actual spends, 23, 24, 25.
So, okay, all right, so we were spending less.
So,
I was just wondering, because that big jump from 20,000 down to 10,000, that coincides, I believe that's directly coincides with when we went from getting gas at the highway garage and paying into the pool for gasoline, as opposed to, now we're paying actual based on
Pumps them.
credit card usage.
so, yeah, it is roughly around the same time too, so. But also, you could infer that, but it also was during a heavy travel time for us around, so it's,
Constant running around back then. Now
Yeah.
it's minimized, but we still do a lot of running around, but not like we did before. Nowhere near it.
Are you comfortable with 6? I mean, I'd put 10 back there, I mean.
we're projected right now to be right around 6, I think.
I mean,
And you're at 32.
you know, we're taking a shot in the dark what fuel prices will be in a year, but.
Okay, and fuel over there was 10, 8.5, and 5.2. Yeah,
I mean, the overall budget is down 3%, so, I mean, if you feel more comfortable, we can bring that up a little bit more.
don't short the lines. But what ended up being for electricity? Electric gas, 120, 120, 180, 155, and you're predicting 175. Okay, all right. And, what's the electric?
I was hesitant to raise it a little bit more because we need to explore the credit thing that we're getting,
Oh, yes.
so,
Have you gotten enough data yet? to
I
be
got
able
some
to-
together, and I apologize with a few things that went on. I didn't get to it as much as I
okay.
wanted to. But I just, I don't, and I was talking with Brian about this today. I don't remember how this whole thing came about, us getting the solar credits from the dump, recycling center. And I was unaware that we were gonna be charged anything from Amoresco for it. I thought that the solar credits were just gonna be showing up on the National Grid bill. I was unaware of any of that.
It's a nightmare.
So, and I guess I'm having trouble, and when I talk to people at Amoresco, I'm not getting good answers that I need. Like, 1 month it's 4,000, the next month it's 2,000, 1 month it's 3,000. I don't understand where the variance comes that we're paying Amoresco. I can understand the variance of what we're getting for credits, but I guess I was thinking if we were paying something, it'd be a standard. So what, can anybody help me with that, like, to understand why that, and when I talk to people, I'm not getting useful answers, I'm getting a lot of runaround.
That's very confusing, but I'd have to see how the contract was written, but typically it works where National Grid bills you, you get a credit, you don't pay that part, and then the credits are based on how much energy they produce.
Right.
And they usually divide up a percentage of what they produce and what we get as a credit over the departments based on a percentage. So if our electric bill was 100,000 and we get a 10% credit, you get 10,000, but then if it was 120, you're gonna get a $12,000 credit. If it's 90, you're gonna get a $9,000 credit. So the credits are gonna vary, and then
Right.
it also varies based on what they produced.
But why are we paying Amoresco? Why wouldn't we be
Because you're
paying
getting a
National Grid?
discount rate, because Amoresco is the one that's generating the electricity.
You're selling it back to the grid.
Oh, okay, so we pay Amoresco, that means we're not paying National Grid.
Oh, we still pay National Grid.
That's
Pay
what I mean.
National Grid, but you're getting a credit on the National Grid portion.
Correct.
But then you gotta watch out and you gotta check with Rich, because what happens is the credits end up exceeding what you use. They may not hear, but
Not for us.
it turned out where the credits, National Grid owed so much in credits that they end up owing the town like $300,000, and you're crossing fiscal years, and then they don't wanna pay you, they wanna apply credits to the future, and you can't do that in the municipality. You have to apply the credits within the fiscal year, so it could turn into a nightmare. but-
What I'm finding, and this is what I was looking further, is that some of our National Grid bills, we have credits on, and others, and I mean, there's like, so they're just applying it to random accounts.
It should be specific accounts, and they typically try to hit the highest generating accounts.
Because I can tell you, treatment plant runs
Treatment
high.
plant should be our biggest
And it
user.
does not get applied to that one very often.
And that was all between whoever negotiated the contract
Correct.
delegates what portions get taken and applied
Because-
to which accounts.
I came in after everything had been, all of a sudden it was, okay, we're getting solar credits
We're gonna
and
give you a say in it anyway.
not, no, but I guess, so yes, we're saving money on the National Grid bills, but sometimes what we're paying Amoresco,
Is more than we would have paid.
especially on sewer. So that's what I'm going down, like I looked at last year what we paid and this year what we paid, and it's equaling kind of the same because of what we're paying to Amoresco.
So
So
we're not saving any money.
You'd have to do a spreadsheet.
I gotta
to
do
show-
more. I gotta do the usage now. Now I wanna go into each and look at all the usage.
You may have used more this year than last year.
That's correct. And I know, but then we also renegotiated,
The commodity.
correct.
So then the commodity goes up, I think it's February, goes up like 3%. Might even be less than that,
What?
the commodity.
Yeah,
I have to go back and look.
I
It goes
think-
from like 13 and a quarter to like 13 and a half. or
Yeah.
something, so.
And I just, it was one of those, like, I don't know. I just don't, I'm not sure how much we're gaining, or I haven't seen officially yet.
You got my spreadsheet from last year, because that has all the usage.
I have to. I
It
will
has all
look.
the usage on it.
Okay,
So that gives you, I think I did 2 years back or something. That's the actual KWH, so that's what we
Right.
consumed. And then you can,
add to this year, and, yeah. I just, I'm digging deeper and deeper and deeper, but it's like this month, the Amoresco bill was split between, was $900 between, each side, so it was like to $1,800. Okay, but last month it was like $4,500. So I just didn't understand, I'm thinking solar, like you're paying however much, but now I get it, thank you. And when I call Amoresco, it's just like, you get like a runaround. I don't know if they really,
Whoever you talk to is not gonna understand the contract.
and like, I don't know I've never seen the contract.
Who manages it here? Is it the treasurer or the accountant?
Corner office is where I get my information from.
Yeah, but one of them has to be cutting the checks and balancing to make sure they're paying what they're supposed to be paying.
I have no idea. I will look into
Assume
that.
it would be the accountant.
I will look into it. I don't know. But I should be able to get a copy of the contract.
Yeah, it's public
Where-
information.
Okay. So that's something just,
if you get a copy of the contract, let me know. look at them.
Okay.
Wait, the AC just came on.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Probably did.
Blowing right in my head. Okay, I'm still digging and digging.
So that's why I left it as is. That needs a little bit more research before we even know what we're looking at on it, especially on the sewer side, because it looks like we're going to be $50,000 this year if we go from where we ever spend right now. We reduced down the metering. We replaced most of the bulk that we needed to do to get us all on radios. Now we're replacing the dying ones or faulty ones. So the need for a lot of pallets that aren't there anymore. What we do need to probably look at is the replacement and or the testing on the 2-inch plus that we have in some of the buildings out there, and how we're going to do that.
2-inch plus seems like commercial, and you should be billing them for the meters.
Yeah, we just don't have policies in place, so or fees set for that. So longevity is set. Chemicals, I just did a 6% increase. I've seen one upwards of 8% one year, but last year they came in at 3%. Current climate, probably 6 is probably where they'll come in at. We should usually see a number or a letter from them in the next month or so to give us a heads up. The GAC put it up to 20 as a contingency on the original amount of the 200 on it, but after the conversation, we may want to revisit it or what we want to put there. Indirects are another issue. I just put in the rough from last year. Retirement, I don't think anybody else is going to be going new on it or anything else, so I just held it where it was. We're waiting for the numbers on Rich. Operating, left it where it was. The historic is over to the right from it. Around there, my feeling is we can just be responsible in the spends.
Did we ever look into the retirement to see if we get a discount if we pay it first week in July?
There is, but he figures that into us. He figures the discount in.
He already
We're
factored
already getting the discount.
that he's taking the discount?
Yep.
Education licenses, the 4,000 seemed to have covered us throughout the past 3 or 4 years to have it done. So sometimes they're usually renewals every 2 years. If we have a busy year, then we usually the next year we have a complete spend on it, right up to the last penny, and a little bit of return from the previous year.
Everybody just renewed, so
Yeah.
probably won't be a lot this year.
Sampling, I gave you the historic to the right of it. I brought it up to equal it. I haven't heard any word on what they're raising or what they're.
They're already doing a raise on it for like 5% or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, they said something else
Yeah.
on there.
Just came
There's
out.
going to be an increase.
Yeah.
The other thing is, on that is, over the next, we may want to figure in over the next 6 months or so, testing more of the sample ports.
So as I said, if you're going to increase your PFAS
Yeah.
sampling, you probably got to increase it. We're at 31, 6, 39, and 34.
Yes.
And you're talking about an increase in the cost to begin with, just because the lab's going up on their prices.
Put a 50 there.
And
Well-
then increased PFAS sampling because of the additional ports you're going to have to sample at the thing. And then also, if you end up doing a media change out, there's going to be all kinds of testing when you do that.
When the media changeout, we'd be in in the cost,
2026.
in the,
In the contract?
yeah, I mean, we'd be paying out of that, but the 2 higher years on that were during the construction and just following the construction when we were actually still sampling some of the wells monthly, so it may average out roughly from what we had to do to what we do. But now,
You're factoring no hits, no nothing. Get hits and have to do resampling and, although your lead and copper's gonna go down to 20, you said,
yeah,
Only reduce once a year.
once a year?
Once a year.
once a year.
MPA's off.
Yeah, and the MPA's
on
off
the
to
report.
that. So that's probably gonna be
So with those savings, it might balance out.
a
It'll be
wash.
close.
Gasoline, we just went over. General insurance, health insurance, Medicare, need all the numbers from Rich. On the group health insurance though, because I'm also on the IAC committee, that 25% is hopefully the worst case of the increases there, but regardless, everybody's gonna have an increase in the healthcare. So, on the low end, it may only be 14%, but I'm more comfortable betting on the 25%, unfortunately. Leak detection, the 6,000 has been getting us through. We went over once, and that was, we were billing that because we had to chase some pipes.
Specialized, that's
Yeah.
specialized.
Yeah.
Needed.
Safety, same amount. Engineering, leaving at the 50 as we had last year, we had reduced it from the 100,000 the year before that. Knowing that we have some minor projects that we can do, but I don't see any major things going on in the water department anytime soon with our debt the way it is.
When was the plan for this, engineering for the media change out?
The engineering, well, for the 25 was going to be born this fiscal year.
26?
Yeah.
We haven't spent anything on that line item, or what do we have left there?
31,000, I believe-ish,
Is left or spent?
left.
Available, yep.
$31,000, yep.
Then subbing out annual stats report to engineering. Just factor that number in. You got 31, you're saying it might be 7,500 for them to do the ASRs. And how about the sewer collection system report? Do you have a price on that from the engineers?
That one was 7,500, not the ASR. ASR, we don't have one in on that. That's probably gonna be less than that, if we go that route. We'll see what we can do with ASR.
I mean, almost 36 audit.
Yeah, that's,
36 audit. Can the engineers do that too?
absolutely.
We have a grant in right
That's
now.
the
We're
grant.
waiting on the grant for the next M36 that we're required to do.
Well, based on those numbers, you don't have enough left to do the GAC.
Well, sewer would be on the sewer budget, not the water budget.
There's 31,000 left in sewer. For engineering, there's 31,000 and change.
Sewer has 64,000 left.
No.
It says. Spent 7,000, there's 64 left. Oh, that's debt service, I'm sorry.
Like engineering, no, it's 31,000.
Engineering, 31,000, yep.
31,630.
Yep. Okay. So I think,
So did you guys do any of the M36 audit this year? So you
Yes,
guys-
we
You did it
finished.
in-house?
What?
You did it in-house?
We
No, that was,
had,
that was.
we
the
paid,
engine.
we funded, it was 8,000, I believe, through tie-in bond.
I think Justin had a good point on the GAC, boosting that up. If we can stay under the budget, I mean, we're down 5% on the budget. We can keep that number and increase that a bit. If there's anything left, we can encumber it in that line item.
For next year,
Pay for-
GAC or what?
Yeah,
but for next fiscal,
well, to pay for it.
but for next,
Actually, that would be,
Pay for
that would be
what?
that would be an article anyways,
yeah.
for that kind of
So let's
spending.
say, unless you're gonna budget 500,000.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a spending article anyways. All right, never mind.
Hence why we need to collect connection fees.
Okay,
How long has that been on?
What?
2 years? GAC?
we're doing almost 3
We
years.
started running through that in beginning of '24. Beginning of '24, we were running,
Yep, it was January,
late January, we were completely going through it.
right.
Early December '23, we were running just 7 through it. And then 6 came online, was going through it. Yeah, so, yeah, mid-January, I believe.
Then it's gonna be almost 3 years.
Coming up.
Well, it's been 2 years.
Two.
All of 24, all of 25, we're into 26.
It's 2 years. January 24 to January 26 is 2 years.
Right,
Yeah.
to now.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about replacing it until,
I'm just trying to get an idea so we can wrap our head around the fact that it's gonna be $350,000 to $500,000. So you're budgeting over $100,000 a year to factor in for GAC
Right.
replacement. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
that's not like, it's an operating cost. It shouldn't be capital. You should be factoring in with our rates to cover a cost of $300,000 to $500,000 every 3 years.
yep.
that was a thought. Do we set
Once we get the
a,
number, yep.
So it
Separate
shouldn't
account.
be an article technically, it should be an operating expense that we know of and plan for and have money saved for.
would we make a separate account outside retained earnings and put
another
a
GAC.
100,000?
You budget it, and, like they do the annual, they do the every 3-year assessor.
Yes.
Budget a
but-
certain amount each year, and they
Yeah.
encumber it, and then it's there.
So just keep encumbering it afterwards, okay. Versus,
Well, you don't encumber it. You
Yeah,
only
yeah,
encumber
yeah.
something that you
Yeah,
contracted
yeah.
for but didn't finish or.
because
or come
any
through.
overage that, or if we were on 5% under on our budget, it just goes back into retained earnings.
back into
So,
retained
so
earnings.
if we budget it, $100,000,
Yeah.
then it's just gonna go back to retained earnings. So do we take from retained earnings?
No, you need to keep an eye on retained earnings.
Okay.
You need to account for the fact that every 3 years you're gonna spend $300,000 to $500,000. And then we should be putting, like, the rates from next year should account for an additional $100,000 a year
Okay.
going into retained earnings, and then in 3 years, that's gonna get depleted, and then every year you're still accumulating the
Building it back
100,000.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you build it into the budget so that it,
Right, but you don't have to set up a separate account. or
Yeah,
anything.
so-
You need to.
So it's
Right.
budgeted,
Add that in your-
budgeted plus 100,000 and set the rates accordingly.
right.
Okay. I just wanted to know how
So
you
you
want
can
to.
show that you're gonna have a 100,000 excess revenue over what the expenditures are for this year, but that money, you already have the understanding that in 3 years, that's gonna be spent.
Right.
Yep. I just want to know how you wanted to see it.
So
So,
just because it is an operating cost. it's
Retained
not-
earnings
Yeah.
would climb, and then it,
yep.
and that's, you know, it's not lasting more than 10 years, or more than 5 years, whatever the criteria is for your, considered a capital expense. So you know every 3 years you gotta replace that, that's an operating cost, you know that.
any other questions on the water department budget? So we're actually at 2,447 with the added 45,000 on debt. Is that correct?
Yes.
The debt line has to add 45, so we're
Yeah.
adding 45 on.
De-
So
definitely-
we're still about $80,000 less than last year.
Do we raise anything else?
No, that's my next
For
question.
what we just went through?
Yeah. You want, Justin suggested the
Justin
gas,
said the gas.
Gasoline, yep.
electric.
Did we say go up?
Yeah,
You
well,
always plan for that, but
you just don't know what and
I
how.
would, I would add it there. Because until we can look at what actual usage is, but we'd have to look at, because in that, we never did an analysis on the gas. I don't even know what we're paying a therm.
For,
Gas,
like, fuel, like, the gas.
natural gas.
No,
Oh,
natural
natural,
gas.
I'm like,
If-
I'm sorry, I was still on the gas.
We
bill.
raised it to 190, it'd be just under a 10% increase over that. Would be like 8, so
I think we should go to the 190.
190
For what?
for electric.
Electric gas.
Electric gas? Up to 190.
And the other comment was on the GAC from Scott. But that said, it's, the next fiscal year, it's gonna be in an article.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know that you need to budget anything for GAC, do you?
Just the engineering. Although,
Just the engineering.
Engineering.
under engineering, yep.
I was figuring that is cost overage, just in, for, and all the other little things that aren't covered under the contract that we always end up with.
Like what?
Doing extra somehow during the middle of a project.
The middle of which part?
If we did the GHC replacement, or,
Yeah, but we won't be doing it during this budget, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're not doing it on this part. If you need it. If you need to move money and have it there just in case, put it under the operating expense and increase that by 20,000, take the GAC out of there. You're already at 156, you're at 172 of the previous year. You're trying to keep it at less than the last 2 years for your operating expense. How do you figure your operating expense is gonna go down?
Sure, that happens all the time.
You know what I'm saying?
we're currently under the percentage of what we usually spend. I think reasonable expectations of managing the money, that we should be able to stay near that money.
We are currently at 48% spent. And, yeah, and we're at about 50, almost 60% of the budget year.
What's included in the operating expense? Is there is there things that don't cost much, or you don't expend as much during the winter as you do in the summer, or?
No, we don't do more in the summer, or spring or summer.
48% is a skewed number. The last 3 years, you haven't been under 150.
Well, that's what's budgeted, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you need to have that 20,000. We're not doing GAC, so there's no sense in putting that in GAC. Put it in the operating expense.
Forget our disturbances have been less this year too than they were from the previous. It could all blow up in our face come.
That's what I mean. You have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah, if you had a crystal ball, this is easy.
Yeah.
He's sort of saying
I'd rather have it
everything's
sitting in
less-
operating expense that's more representative than GAC. We're not gonna do GAC this year.
So we'll just move that to that.
Yep.
Make
Yeah.
operating 170.
Okay.
Put a 5,000 in there just to, as a placeholder.
I don't know if to even leave a placeholder.
You don't need a placeholder. Just leave the line in it.
Yeah,
It's a GL number. It's not a,
yeah.
one of our line items.
All right.
It can be zero and still have the line in it.
And those are all the ones that were discussed on this one.
It's on, let's see, the 20.
How are we with the overtime and all that?
Yeah, they have the historic right next to it.
Spread out a little more?
A little more.
Okay, what about the sewer budget?
What about the limbo on administrative assistant? Level funded? Is that level funded as to what was approved, or is that level?
That's
funded-
level funded for what was approved the last
Right.
time.
We voted to give her, give that position a pay raise. It was negated by others in the building. And I have not been able to get an answer from council.
I don't think it's legal.
I don't either. But we don't have control of the purse strings. At least that's the opinion of some in the building.
So if it goes to litigation, who covers that cost? Should not come out of our budget for litigation.
I guess when the litigation time comes, then we would argue that, yes. I would be in agreement with, it wasn't our doing. But,
When you litigate, you have a finding, and in the finding, then would, in turn, they would, whoever the party is that doesn't win it would be the one to pay for the litigations. So it'd still be a process there.
yep.
Okay. Let's see. The salaries, then down to the Medicare tax and the health insurance, the same thing as the water. Gave it 25% increase, the Medicare, just rounded up to what, until we get the numbers from last year. Buyback the same, standby same. We eliminated the differential pay last year on them. The Webster processing, that covers the last numbers I was given of what we were gonna be charged from Webster.
I think we need to increase that, don't we?
Yeah, how did it go down?
Because last year, we were paying what,
We were paying the.
we were paying,
previous-
yeah, what we had owed to.
Yeah, but are we going up in rate?
That is,
Hold on.
That
I have the
includes-
amount, just bear with me.
I mean, it's no secret, Webster processing is not gonna get cheaper over time, so
No.
it's only gonna get more expensive.
Yeah, but the 981 was
Covering
for the
gap.
year and plus the previous
yeah,
year's
we
shortage.
added that last year
Correct.
Right.
because we weren't
Previous.
And I
sure.
believe
Yeah,
it's
so-
70.
Are we gonna get involved with the
72.
I thought it was
reclassification, or is that
73 or
primarily
78.
their responsibility?
I feel
like 78 sounds right. I feel like I signed something.
It was, yeah, I think it's 78 for.
Somebody had
each
said
month
way
now.
back, no.
Because it
It was 43, and then we added 35, so that's 78. That's good.
That's 936.
So
that's-
we're paying as of right now, we're paying 78,000 a month to Webster.
Because the last number I got for the next year's was 888. When we had the conversation.
Where did you get that from?
You. So what do we have now, 932?
36.
936. If we take what we're paying now and multiply it times 12, that's 936.
So what's the best and worst case increases.
Gonna go up again.
Plan on going
I
up.
would leave it at 981, to be honest.
I think you probably even need to
I'd
go up a little more
bit.
than that.
I thought, I was,
$1 million mark.
I'm thinking we may go over
A million.
seven digits, up to seven digits.
So if you increase 35,000 this year, you're looking at, I wouldn't say
By making this adjustment, we should not have that
We
increase.
shouldn't be that far off anymore.
We shouldn't be that far off.
But you should still, you're still gonna have an increase. So I would say maybe you might increase 20,000 a month, if that.
That's 240,000.
You're still renegotiating the IMA. That's,
Yeah,
that's a
IMA
ways
is-
out. So it's the discrepancies, and you know how
I
that
would
can
go to
play.
the seven figure. It's-
I
Just stop it there.
Well, if you increase it by
If you increase,
22,000, that puts you at 100,000, which puts you at 1.2 million.
yeah, I think it needs to be over.
So I'm just looking back over the past and figuring, roughing.
Well, every meeting we have with Webster, they just. all the
Come out of there with another 20 grand on your faces every time you
Well,
have
yeah,
a meeting.
there's always an added cost. It keeps coming in.
And their sludge cost isn't gonna go down, I can tell you that.
No,
Right.
gonna get
yeah,
worse.
that's,
So that's why I'm thinking.
when we get to
I
that
think it
line.
needs- I think we need to put, would you say 1.2?
Yeah. It's raising it by 22,000.
Okay.
I think that's what's gonna carry there then.
That's 100,000 a month, 100,000 a month times 12 is 1.2 million.
Could very well be. I don't think it will be that high, but it could very well be.
You don't wanna go
Because
to-
we
Like to
adjusted,
plan
we-
for the worst.
we adjusted this
You don't wanna go
year.
to fall town meeting and say, we need more money.
No. We, last year, our true up was $200,000, 220,000? I can't remember what it was. 35 times 8,
It's more than that for some reason.
35 times 8.
That's what I was thinking, it was 400 and something.
That was 400,000.
Right, 485?
Something like that.
But that, by making that adjustment that we made that day, that should severely cut that, because that makeup was because Webster didn't bill us
That's all I was gonna say.
for the
Get it squared
previous
away.
year,
What do we tell them to bill us?
that we told them to bill us that amount, which was what we're paying now,
Almost 80,000 a month.
Yes.
almost 80,000 a month,
Oh,
78,000.
you guys need to send more. Well, yeah, we don't send more than we
You need
bill.
to send
Well,
your
we
bill.
can, it's against the law. They said that, their treasurer collector said it's against the law to do that. That was, last year's true-up was actually 2 years, because the previous year's true-up didn't get
So you figured, if that was 2
applied.
years, that's 200,000 a year.
200,000 a year.
So
200,000.
increasing it by-
Yeah, okay, so now we're getting up to 20,000 a month.
You know what I mean? That's
All right,
just where I'm going with it.
Where we're at 1.2.
That's correct.
okay. There goes that minus sign.
By a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
I have about 38%.
Right.
I know.
It's just,
Oh, it's insane that these numbers are crazy.
we just need some better numbers coming out of the meeting so we can do this.
I will
So-
get you everything that I have in the cost projection and we'll work on that.
Yeah, I think you gotta be
I-
1.2 or north of that.
I agree, because if, the 2 years, we had to pay, like $480,000 for 2 years worth of catching up.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's 200,000 a year. We're caught up to current right now.
Yeah.
But then there's gonna be an increase, so we're hoping not to have more than $120,000 or roughly something like
Right.
that.
Hoping it's 200,000 or less. But we don't know. We don't know that until,
Probably May.
Maybe. So your best,
so we have our capital meeting, so the true-up meeting, the true-up meeting's not till October.
yeah, so you've got to go with taking historic, the past.
Yeah.
the
It's been about
past-
$200,000 a year.
I'll
for
give
the
you
past
all
couple
my
Yeah.
numbers that I,
I'm just saying,
just so that
to
you
be able
can
to set
justify
rates
it. Yes.
on,
Right.
is it,
Equal,
it's, need something a little bit more solid.
I'll send you all that stuff tomorrow.
No more than 4%. I think isn't that what they said? 4%.
Electrical. It doubled it because,
Is gas in that one too?
Yes.
yeah. But that line item is, the spend right now isn't covering it. And this is to where we are now until we can figure out what exactly is going on with the electricity. Until we know, I can't confidently try to put a number to it.
Such a big jump.
So we added gas into the electric line, and then we're splitting the Amoresco bill between water and sewer. Now, I don't know if that's justified. I mean, they both have the same number of accounts, but it's not it's the usage.
Yeah, the KWH is significantly less on sewer.
Right, so should it be split differently? You know, this was just, again, this was all brand new over the past,
Gotta be applied to whatever the accountants are applying it to. Like I said, typically those contracts are set up and they try to hit the biggest users to get the most benefit out of the percentages. Where sewer's not a big user, it's probably not gonna trigger anything on their side.
they get credits. Which that's what I'm not
How they design it,
understanding
yeah.
it. And like, so I'm just using Park Road. It has a negative balance right now. Okay, that's great, but why do I still have, you know, that's what I'm just having this is new for me, so I'm trying to probably understand it way more than I,
Not easy to understand to begin with. so.
you know, I'm just,
Grid will bill you for usage, and then you'll have a credit on your account.
yep.
They won't apply the credit. So at some point, you stop paying National Grid until the end of the year, until we figure out what we owe, and then you do a true-up basically at the end.
See, I still get the bills, and it will show the credit on them, but not all the bills.
I still don't understand why we're
Which could be
paying
how the contract was set
Amoresco.
up, and they just said, we're gonna apply it to these accounts.
I'm gonna ask for a copy of the contract so that maybe I can understand a little better.
Typically what I've seen is that you have to provide them National Grid account numbers that you're gonna
Right.
apply it to.
So they gave, they
That initial account.
They
on the
took all
contract.
the water and all the sewer accounts and sent it over to them. All the account numbers, because they did ask me for all of our account numbers. And from Amoresco, I'll send you what I get from Amoresco.
Somebody should have a spreadsheet that shows each account that there's a credit applied to, what their National Grid usage was, and what the credit is, and it should be all broken down.
That's what I asked
Should show
for.
what you're supposed to pay
That's what I asked for from Amoresco, and they said, no, they don't do that.
here.
So somebody here
Our
should-
account should have that.
Okay. But I'll send you what I get from Amoresco, just so
Yeah, I'll
you
look.
can see,
Yeah, maybe I can put heads or tails to it.
you know, I'm trying, I really, but like I said, this is all,
Easy.
this is all new to me, and I'm like, and I feel like I came in, like, after everything.
And you're probably only getting half the information.
And I probably don't know who to contact for the correct information, but I'll find out who's doing it here, so I'll try to get more information to you for the electric.
No, it's just that that's a pretty big jump, and also, we put the gas in down at, the sewer,
You're gonna use more gas.
yeah, so. Communications, same, fuel, the first two on the past, the previous fiscals were during the construction running around, they were down around 5,000 last year. So I just reduced it and put it back down to around 6.
Do you have anything budgeted for lining or anything?
For what?
Lining, sewer, you're doing any sewer lining?
Yeah, they had changed we had an INI,
But they changed it to,
the inspection and repairs.
yes.
Can we only put
That's-
20,000 in there?
Yeah, that's what you guys had suggested last year, to be able to do a couple small areas, or at least camera or investigator.
You know, I keep saying, in my opinion, that if you want to reduce Webster's bill, we reduce the INI, because we're paying a lot of money to treat stormwater. The more you can knock down on stormwater, the less we pay Webster.
Yeah, that's,
I think with the Patterson Ave project coming up, we're gonna include that whole lining of that pipe breakdown. It's one of our infiltration points. So I'll probably wedge that into that. So that'll take care of that issue there. Everything else we're still working on for controlling INI and stuff. We have the flow meters coming in the springtime, so we're gonna see where our problems may lie better, plus cameling.
If we're budgeting perspective.
That's the grant we have too.
I mean, how much can you line for 20,000?
that was more
Nothing much.
camera,
Cammering work than it
camera
was
and look.
lining.
That's what you guys asked for last year.
I mean, you can't, the sewer department can't have no money year over year over year and expect it to not start falling apart.
Yeah.
Like, we have to invest in the system at some point.
Well, like I said, I think if you fix INI, the return on the investment is gonna be huge. You'll save that money in no time. We know we got a lot of INI. Because the interceptor doesn't keep it.
You put 50,000 there?
I think you're
I think a little low on that.
looking at a couple $100,000 to do anything on.
At least 400 or 500 grand for adequate. But then again, we gotta know where we're lining and what we're doing. We just got waiting right yet to get things moving till the weather clears.
When are they supposed to be doing the,
Flow meters?
Yeah.
Springtime. What's the weather?
this fiscal?
This coming up spring.
Yeah,
So then you should know, you should be able to find
That's
something.
what-
I think the proposal
In
said
line by the
like
fall.
March,
Yeah.
Coming up, yeah.
like next month, they're gonna be putting those in.
And unfortunately, the storm came. We're about to send out the drones, see if we can find those manholes, and that screwed us up. So we're waiting for the snow to go down a little bit. Hope,
Well, you would think that a manhole,
well, the heat for the
The
manhole,
heat
but
manhole
with all
should
that,
be-
with all that vegetation, with snow on top of it is causing the issue. So we still have to let things settle a little bit down. Then we should be able to get a view. There's infrared coverage on that drone, so that should help us.
That, and the other thought was even not increasing it, because a lot of our efforts and focus will be spent on the grant, and hopefully that finds you the
Grant
areas.
is finding
Yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah, that was the idea of this
You should
too,
be
so.
finding stuff this spring, and then
Spending it
be,
20,000.
Yeah.
spend it before the end of the fall. You don't wanna find all the stuff this spring, and then say, all right, we gotta wait a whole nother year before we do anything about it. I think there should be some money budgeted to
Line.
at least line, if you find any major issues. If you don't find any, we don't spend it, that's all.
Oh, you're probably
What are
talking
we-
about
what are we
200 grand or so to budget for something like
What are
that.
we
To
putting
have
into
something that's
the-
big enough
what-
to,
what are we putting into retained earnings historically?
Last year, it showed that we had to fund the budget through retained earnings.
Right, you had to use some retained earnings to
That's
fund the
right.
budget. Where are we at with retained earnings?
It's right around $1 million, I think,
oh,
Not-
it's less than that. 800, 900?
9.
well,
Nine.
okay.
I mean, we could,
And
we
does this
could,
budget require any retained earnings?
We don't know.
If the revenue shows the same as last year, then it's in a require from retained earnings.
Or a rate increase.
yep.
The same combination as what we had last time.
We held off on rate increases last year, correct?
We,
No,
Well, no, they had a small one, did you? Ricky?
was it 3 or 4%?
4% on sewer, nothing on water.
Water.
Well, we know Webster's cost went up, so we know we gotta raise rates to cover that regardless. We just raised it by 300,000, so a 30% increase.
So any of the bigger projects of lining or anything else will end up
And I would
having to
think
be a
lining should
debt.
come out of retained earnings,
Yeah.
since it's a capital item. It's not an operating expense, so I would pull from retained earnings to fund some lining. Like I said, if you don't do it this fall, then it goes back to retained earnings, we budget it for next year. But you wanna have the money there, so if you find some wide open pipe or something that's deteriorated, we need to line it, and then we'll save you all kinds of money on Webster expenses.
So in doing the rates in the budget,
So for the rates,
So-
I wouldn't factor whatever we put for lining in as the rates, which is why I'm saying
so yeah, that's what I'm saying,
pull
so
that from retained earnings, factor
And-
the rate increases based on
on
the
every,
Webster cost and everything else that we increased.
so minus the I&I line item and figure and base the rate proposal on everything else.
Yep.
And then fund, okay. That works. Because I'll probably give the same style of presentation for it with the, where you could or may cut out of the budget, proposed rates per percent, and what the availability on the retained earnings are, and you guys will be able to make a decision on how you wanna,
Yeah, I like
Balance that out like that.
We get public feedback, it's
Yeah.
nice to have that information in front of you. so.
yeah. I think that's worked the best over the past 3 or 4 years that we've been doing it.
So you'll have your public hearing in April and vote on the rate increase after your public hearing.
So that said,
I can have it ready for the May billing to go out.
Oh, yes.
how much you want in that line?
For that lining thing?
Yeah.
Well,
Do you have any numbers on what'd you do it by, all driving, you did all the lining?
400, 500 grand. So I'd go at least 3 for now. That would be a safety margin, without going too much into the
300, so
retained.
you're not killing retained
Yeah,
earnings, but
so I'd go
Three.
have
no
something
more
so
than
you can
3.
take care of something.
A little out of order, but, operating expenses last year, we had, that was one of the lines we cut during the budgeting season, in the rates. So I level funded that. But the historic is next to it.
Yeah, you're over for the last 2 years, right? Or the 2 previous. What do we have, the 145 year?
I think that may have been when we had, with the accounting and whatnot, things were pulled out of separate line. They were paid, but it showed as a negative or the incorrect spend for that fiscal year on that line item. It may have been, it really should have been taken out of the capital line item.
What year was that?
24.
Is that 24 hours? I didn't look at sewer yet.
I think that was part of the true-up was paid out of that.
Oh, I think because, yeah, we didn't have it in the Webster processing, so we pulled from where we could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
because
started moving,
Webster
we
processing
moved money
was-
around.
And
Moved
in
money around at the end of the year.
in this, so I'm looking at it right now, then we had a capital line item of 110,000, zero net activity, and ending with the same amount of balance.
So
So
we
it
know
would,
that it-
that was,
Yep.
that number is skewed. Because somehow there's still ending $19,000 in that out of 165. So, yeah.
So went from,
63 to 86.
but is your number off here on your capital? Or are you really only going to 1,000?
That's what we did for this year.
That's what you did, that's what you guys voted for last year.
Because we were at 100,000 or 110,000 before that.
Yep.
Right.
That's was for the linings and everything else, it would,
That's how we avoided rate hike.
yep.
Minimized it, yep.
I'll say it again, you can do that a year or two, but you can't continue to do it, otherwise the
No.
system suffers.
How are we with the assessments and stuff for the lift station up by the courthouse?
Eisenhower, you mean?
Yeah.
We're waiting on their final word on the betterment. Where we're set to go is the $50,000, as far as we're concerned, to revamp the station. That's giving us a lot of playroom. I'm just waiting on them. I submitted all the stuff to them, and the highway supposedly submitted their stuff, and they're waiting for the final what, are they gonna have a hearing or meeting or something on it to
Yeah.
make a final judgment? The people are for it, I guess, and they need to be for it. I mean, that's,
So have we
We mo-
budgeted anything for getting that up to that?
as far as regular maintenance on it.
All the stuff that you needed to do to get it up to, to justify the betterment fee that needed to be upgraded, or, the pumps, whatever you needed to upgrade.
Yeah, all the quotes and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that budgeted to be done in here?
No,
That's
That's
not
budgeted
added.
through that.
That's not added into this
That's not added to
budget.
this budget. That's, I don't even know when that process is gonna start. I don't even know when they're actually gonna start doing that yet, so. We have no, but all I know is whatever they come up with, we'll be able to do what we have to do to bring that up to snuff.
We have to get the money.
Yeah.
But I know what Bob's saying is you have to have the money here
Yeah, you
The
need the
money in the
budget,
budget.
in the
spend it,
budget,
spend it.
because
Well,
the betterment money isn't gonna just come into us.
Right.
It's gonna be on their
Well, the
tax.
betterment's at 20, they can do it over 20 years.
20 years.
1-year payments. or
Right,
they can
so
pay
we
for
have
it
to have that
upfront.
money to be able to spend.
And then it'll get
Correct.
It'll get put back into retained earnings.
Correct.
As the payments come in from
Yep.
residents.
You'd have to budget 50,000 in that count then to
Yes.
cover that.
But that
Would-
again could come out of retained earnings, because that's not an
Would-
operating expense.
Correct.
would we be better off putting an article in for $50,000 for Eisenhower? And then
don't-
we can return it the following years once, because it would cover us this year, next year, or until they finally finish it. It sits there just locked into only going to the Eisenhower station, and once it's complete, the following meeting, you would just have it returned back into retained earnings.
You know, the problem with that is if you go based off of quotes you have right now, if it takes them 3 years to approve it,
Yeah, it could be $75,000.
right, the price could go up, now your article's no good because you can't do it within the funds.
Yeah.
You're better off budgeting it if you know you gotta fix it. Have we already accepted that station?
No, that's, once it was done over, then I was gonna bring to you to accept the station, that it's up to our standards. So we haven't been accepted. We monitor it, we service it, and that's all we do. If anything else happens to it, there are some monies left in the donation fund from the developer to do some minor repairs or things to fix things up, like a pump or something. I forgot how much is left there, 10 grand, 15
Yeah,
grand.
probably budgeted out of retained earnings. If don't spend it until the betterment thing's approved. Once it's approved, you do the upgrade, get it up to where it's supposed to be, so you're not getting all the call-ins and wasting all the extra money on repairs.
Do we want to use dedicated, just put in the capital line item, or just we want to
Yep.
give it,
Capital line item, Eisenhower,
okay.
put that fund there, earmark it so it's not spent for anything else.
And we'll do the same thing as we're doing with the 300, not set rates based on that.
Yep.
Okay. We're doing 50,000 on Eisenhower, or just more? Just
50,000 is what the,
That gives us playroom and, yeah, 50,000.
And you do it as either a capital outlay or a capital, if you do a capital outlay, you're spelling out exactly what it's for, and it can't get spent for anything but that.
So operating, education licenses, safety, same. Engineering, historically, it's been around 50,000.
We're supposed to be getting a lot of grant funding to do a lot of the engineering stuff.
The I&I stuff we have.
What other engineering do you anticipate on the?
Just coming up in
sewer side?
2027 to do the Patterson Ave station. That's for the next,
Well,
giving,
is 2027
No.
the rebuild of the station? or
that's the planning,
2026?
starting the planning stages of getting
Design?
it, design and then implement the plan if it's approved.
I mean, they're looking for us to sign off on a design now.
Or,
Or what?
The GAC.
5,000 Oh, that's for the GAC.
That's for the
Yeah,
GAC.
GAC.
But they had, what did he say in the Eisenhower?
It's not, no, I'm talking, Patterson.
Patterson,
I haven't even approached him on that yet.
no, I got nothing.
I mentioned it to him, but I
He
didn't,
just had it in here as an
so you
update.
said yesterday,
Yeah.
or last week, rather.
Well, it was in Jeff's letter.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
said,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
aware of this issue, we continue to have mechanical issues, priority project identified, and the wastewater asset.
So we're gonna repair it.
we're gonna repair it now. It's not, the issue was not the pump. The pump got starved of water from the break in the ball valve in the station. And the only reason why we caught it is because the pump stopped working right, filled up the manhole, and the new alarm that we put in there caught it. But the well, the pit itself filled right up, so the pump starved out. Then fortunately, that pump is the major problem. That was one of our backup pumps from way back. And then it filled up and it starved the
Yeah,
water.
But, so the engineering is gonna be
To redo a proper new lift station in there, or whatever.
Right, so his statement here is that the sewer department may want to consider an appropriation for the design phase of the replacement at the May 2026 town meeting, which means this budget.
I'm not sure we should be starved to this year's budget for that, because once that station's repaired, it should be good for us for a little bit longer. It's not like these things go left and right. This is an unforeseen issue with a water pipe, not with anything that was in the sewer plant itself. So, I mean, we've got a few things in our pockets right now. I'd rather kind of do 2027 to start the process with that. It's up to you guys. You want to start earlier, we can, but we're putting money into it now, so, I mean, it should be into good running shape right now. Everything else has been serviced and checked, and we monitor it closely. This was just an unforeseen issue that caught everybody off guard.
I guess this came from the question of engineering. What do we typically have for engineering?
50,000?
Right. What are we typically spending that engineering funds on? The budget.
Sewer,
It's been just I work.
Miss Mai and I work, yeah.
There
We're supposed
was,
to be getting a grant to do more I&I.
right, but
Yeah.
there was a couple things, we had to spend some engineering on this year prior to getting.
That was the initial startup of the I&I when we did not have that grant, and we used that money
There
and,
was, prior to like the sewer asset management, to getting grants, we had to do some work for that, so those type of little things were pulled out of engineering.
So the sewer asset's done, the water asset's done.
Yep.
The I&I initial phase that we had to do is done.
in '23, we spent 9,800 out of the engineering.
we may go over on the I&I also. Even the 250, it sounds like a lot, it's not. When you start getting into flow meters and all that stuff, it gets very pricey, so. We need a little
24.
buffer zone there too with engineering costs.
'24, we spent 96,000, and
5 is,
25,
We don't even know if we got the grant for the I.
25, we spent 31, 18 so far.
no, fiscal year
We
'25.
did get the grant.
We spent 214,000 out of the engineering.
Yeah.
Did we get a proposal from
But I think,
Ty and Bond to do the grant work for $250,000?
Yes.
Yeah, we just got awarded it 2 weeks, within 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was just.
2 weeks or so, too.
So you get a kickoff meeting on the 9th?
Coming up, there's a meeting on it to start planning on what we're gonna do.
So did we get a contract with them for the $250,000?
I have not, I just got notification of the grant.
And I'll
Did we
just,
get a proposed contractor and anything from them for the I&I work?
I,
not a proposal, no.
don't believe so. I'll definitely check.
Presented a couple months ago here.
I thought so.
Yeah, I know Jeff had talked about it.
Yeah, I just can't remember if
I don't know if
that's
we
one of
had
the
an
things.
actual
I don't know.
contract.
Yeah,
No, there was no actual contract. We had planned already in place from previous work from the engineers to
We
start off on the
voted-
I-9.
We voted to spend a small amount to keep
forward with it.
stuff moving until the grant was awarded.
but I'll check and see what else I got.
Yeah, I'd just like to see what's included.
Mhm.
Their proposal is correct. $250,000 for engineering on I&I right there, so.
But looking back on the previous budgets, from what was budgeted and then what was actually spent in during the budgets during those years, it looks like at some point during one of the meetings, one year, they somehow put it back into our budget when it was supposed to be an article.
Yes, they put it in, instead of doing an article, they put it into our line item.
Yeah. So, we had 9,800, then 96,000 next year, and it was like 200 for 1 year, but that was, it should have been an article, and I believe that was 150,000.
Yes, it was 150,000.
So roughly we're around 50,000 for that under our normal circumstances, so.
Yeah, normally you're budgeting for doing some I&I work. So I guess what I'm getting at is that if they're looking for 25,000 to do the GAC, well, no, that's for the boy, that's for the water. So are we budgeting every year for them to do the collection system report?
I would think so.
So you need money in there for that, under engineering. I just don't think you need the whole 50,000 if you've got 250,000 already going to I&I. You're not gonna do additional I&I work on top of, that's gonna take most of your year just messing with that. And I would say you do some actionable items off of what they get out of that 250,000.
I just don't know what we're gonna find, and if they're gonna add in money for I&I repair, are gonna repair something or do something in an emergency, because we found something big.
Right, that's what I'm saying, the 300,000 for lining, or,
Well, that's,
Repairs.
yeah, well, but
so you got that money there, you don't need engineering money for the repair.
I just don't know how much it'll be for the engineering part of it, to do things, you know. Every time I turn around, it seems like I keep shuffling out money for engineering costs, you know, left and right. Oh, this is a major expense, well, this is a major expense of engineering, you know, they're not cheap. Kinda play it safe than sorry.
Do we just level fund that for now and then use it?
That's the thought.
That's what he did, he
We've
leveled
been,
it.
we've been around 50,000 a year on them, thinking that we had funding to do the linings, everything else, and
Go with that.
new engineering costs come up throughout the whole entire time, or something else happens, or whatnot.
I just level fund that. Go with that right now.
Well, that's what he did.
That's what we go with
Funded
that.
it at 50.
Yeah, I just question what you're gonna have additional time for to do outside of the 250,000 in engineering work that you're already gonna do through a grant. How much more projects do you think you're gonna be taking on the sewer side that you need engineering for?
Hopefully not many, but I mean, I don't know, every time you turn around, something else pops up at us.
We got Patterson. That's,
Just don't forget we got Conan out there, but it's in good shape right now, so I mean, if that's something down the line, but that's not right now.
But again, if something comes out,
Some of these stations are
something
real
happens
old.
that's out of the ordinary, and you have some extenuating circumstances, you can go to the fall town meeting and put an article forward. I just
Well,
don't
then-
wanna artificially have the budget up
Yeah, we
and
said
raise
we-
rates based on numbers of, let's put money in just in case. You know, when you put money in just in case for capital, for slip lining and, what was the other one that we just said? Two line items under capital. You know, those aren't going towards rates, those are out of retained earnings.
for lining and for Eisenhower Drive.
It's tough to put money in a line item to say just in case, when we gotta base rates on those just in case numbers. Like I said, if you're saying just in case something happens as an emergency, that's not a typical operating expense, it's a out of the ordinary capital line item that shouldn't be factored in unless you're saying every year we're gonna have an emergency. that's
No, I'm
gonna
talking about
cost
the
$50,000.
engineering part of it, not talking
The
about.
engineering, we've historically spent about $50,000 a
I'm just
year
saying,
Right.
on the sewer
Saying
nothing to
department.
do about in case
You
of
got two
anything
hundred and
else.
fifty thousand dollars in grants on engineering, so you're already 5 times what you normally spend on engineering. Do you think you're gonna go to 6 times?
We'll see what you can do with that.
Well, we could reduce it down to, what's the collection systems report,
7,500.
7,500,
So go to 10,000.
10,000, and move the 40,000 out of there?
That'd be my recommendation. I mean,
It seems logical to
there's
me.
more board members than me. I mean, we have other line items that we don't typically spend out of, like safety. You know, we got 10,000 in there as a placeholder, so. I just don't like artificially inflating numbers on it just in case. And if you wanna have line items that are for just in case things, then you put it in there as something that we don't factor for rates.
Okay,
Yeah, you can pull it from retained earnings and just put it back to retained earnings if it doesn't get spent. I mean, you already gotta factor in the additional money for Webster. For rates.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an increase in-
so Webster, what's that? What are we talking about, 1.2?
300,000 more than your original budget.
Okay.
33%.
All right. So, got enough to
Yep.
work on?
Yep, I guess we gotta, the other ones are just changing numbers for the proposal, but really, the numbers from Webster and getting those tightened up,
Like,
and,
adding those things?
or better yet,
Earnings.
more solid numbers to be able to realistic what we're dealing with, you mean, and, or they can remove those, I made notes to make sure we remove those from the rate increases and the electrical issue. I mean, there's always the chance that I could make the calls, it's gonna be on a Monday morning and,
No, it's
No.
fine.
no,
I'll
okay.
find out who here is handling it so I can see some of
Yeah. Something seems, something's not right with that.
No.
That we're,
Why are we pay, I still don't understand why we have to pay Amoresco if they're giving us credits. What are we paying for then? We're paying for the credits. Then we're not getting anything.
Credit is only a small percentage, that's the thing.
But if we're paying them, then why are we paying the grid?
You're paying grid for a certain portion, but then you're not paying grid for the amount that
They're crediting.
they're crediting.
So
The
we're
amount that,
paying
the amount that we're paying them, say, if
Okay.
National Grid bills you $100, and they're saying they're giving you a 10%, you're gonna pay them $90,
Right,
and you get a 10% discount.
right.
So you're paying them, but you're not paying grid that part of the bill, which is why you're paying them. It's very confusing.
Yeah,
you're still
exactly.
paying for
Again,
that
why are
amount.
we paying?
Right.
Amoresco is giving us credit.
have another bill.
What are we paying for?
Exactly.
We're paying for the credit.
That's all I feel like it is, it's just
Amoresco's
another
giving you a
bill.
10%
We're paying for credit.
But you're paying Amoresco you're paying Amoresco at a discounted rate compared to what National Grid,
Right.
you pay National Grid. Essentially, is what you
pay 6%, 3%, 4% back to
3%. So it's, what are we getting? We're not getting anything out of it, so.
Trust me, I went through the same thing. I said, I don't want it. It's more work
It's,
than I'm saving.
that's how I feel at this point. It's a lot more.
Well, that may be something we may
But
have
it is
to
a
look
lot of
at.
money if you look at it overall.
Yes, but it's just,
It's very hard to follow.
and I mean, we haven't even had 6 months worth yet, so it's kind of.
They should have a spreadsheet to track all that.
That's right.
So that you understand exactly what you're supposed to pay grid, what you're now paying Amoresco, and then what the discount was.
I'll find out.
So that's why I just, for a spreadsheet, and
We'll find out who has that.
this is what we paid last year, this is what we used last year, this
The
is
other
what
thing
we
on
used this
sewer
year.
I'm gonna wanna look at is separating out the natural gas from that. I know it's a combined line item, but we may wanna separate those two out.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why did we combine them?
To,
It makes it
With-
much harder to budget.
yeah.
Why did we combine them? Can we not have them separate line items?
No, we'd always put a gas and electric
Yeah,
together
together.
on both sides. Because it was
Separate.
utility.
Because the electric's, at least on sewer, it's almost, you can almost predict it down, because there's not a lot of variability there. Pumps run on the same regular frequency. So,
So maybe,
Tell me, I'll do whatever.
we'll work on it tomorrow.
if you have my, because I did the electric KWH on sewer, jeez, there should be a spreadsheet on
The
that.
blower goes on, it gets colder in here.
Yes.
I may go outside to warm up in a sec.
overnight setback would be going in days.
Everybody's sick.
Shouldn't be happening right now.
But, okay. Then that's that.
Okay, we may have to have another meeting in a week or two to go over this again.
Yeah.
We have to get it to them, correct?
The final.
They wanted it 2 weeks ago, so.
So why do we budget a lot more on indirects on sewer than we did water?
The
Because,
credit that they give us for the hydrant credit is is the difference in between the two. And all I
Still cut
did,
it in half.
all I did was round up their numbers.
According to the statement we got, is if we agree to it, then they can just take it. I would still say we don't agree to it. I don't
We
think-
said that, and it didn't matter anyways. You just take it anyways.
But by you agreeing to it, they win. If you don't agree to it, when this comes to a head somewhere down the road, then we show documentation that this is what we agreed, and they took what they want. We paid a portion of the fee to do the study. And when the person that did the study said, oh, no, it should be decreased to this, they said, no, we're gonna pay this because they have the money. Wasted, how much was that? How much was that? study?
$5,000.
So we wasted $5,000 for them to do what they want anyway. So on top of them taking more money than they should have, we also paid for them to have somebody come in to tell them. And as we've seen in emails, they were directed to find more ways to charge us. So that was a waste of money. We should never have spent the $5,000. So I'd still disagree because the guy that did the study said that that number should have went down. I look at whatever he said, budget that, let them take what they want.
About 90, I want to say it was 92,000 or something like that on each side.
That's how I would budget it. 92 minus the hydrant
That what was in there?
credits.
The report from the Abrams Group, or
Yep.
92.
It was somewhere around there, yeah. Right around
That's not what we should put in
$90,000.
there then.
That's my opinion.
What was the number?
It's in that report.
You have a copy of it in the office, don't
Yeah.
you? Well, I want to say it was right around $90,000. I don't remember the exact number.
The water was less because it had the hydrant.
Yeah, minus the hydrant credit. Which again, we demonstrated, and I think they almost would have owed us money if we went by the calculations, and he was almost on board with that until he realized how much it was gonna drop it.
Okay, so if you want to, if you can grab those numbers and then plug them in.
Okay.
State tells you the industry standard for fire protection is 1%. So 1% of your usage, 1% of our budget should go towards fire protection.
Okay, any other questions on the budgets? Knew this was gonna take a while, but, all right, so crunch those out and send them out to us if we have to get together again. Well, actually, once you get that together, send them a revision.
I'll do the same thing I did last time. I'll send it out and then get feedback back, and then you guys can
We have to-
schedule another meet, you mean,
Well, this is February, and then we got rate hearing. When do we have to do a rate hearing by?
Public
April.
hearing will be April.
Public hearing and just working the numbers backwards. If we gotta do that in April, when do we have to do the notices?
They'll go out in the May billing.
March, bill.
Sorry?
March.
May,
May.
Oh, the notice is May, yeah.
Yeah, the notices will go out in May and.
the rate will go up in July 1st.
When do we have to post for the hearing?
I have to post by next month, March,
That's what
right
I'm
after
saying,
the,
so
yeah.
We might have to have another meeting in order to finalize the budget, so then we can do whether you do the meeting as to the rate discussion.
We have another meeting coming up under old business. We have a Webster meeting that we have to present dates for, pick some dates for.
Yeah,
For the capital, we can, well, if we've got a quorum at that, then we can,
Yeah, that's all well and good, I'm saying that we still have to have meetings to base,
right,
Yes,
but we gotta get this budget solidified,
right,
and then have a rate, basically do our own rate study essentially.
yes.
Determine what the rates need to be,
right.
so that we can solidify
Yes.
that for the.
Yes, we're gonna need another meeting.
Yeah, we can finalize these numbers sooner rather than later,
Yeah.
and then try to schedule a meeting.
Okay.
What, do we have to post 2 weeks
For what, public hearing?
for the public hearing?
Yeah, 2 weeks prior.
All right, so this year's budget. Same numbers that have been skewed or still skewed. Sewer electrical is over.
Yes, so the letters will be going out, and it's about, what did I say, 68,000 right now. If you saw, he only leaned 58,600 this past December, as opposed to the previous, which was 196,800. So that's a huge difference. And the liens were, some vacant houses and some people who were paying, but couldn't pay in full, but they were paying us every week, but they got liens. Even because they don't accept payment plans, even though we set up.
Yeah, no, you have to do the lien. if it's not
Right,
paid
but
for.
at least we got more money from them than did the previous year, you know what I mean? So,
What's it looking like again? You said about 80?
80,000, excuse me, yeah, it wasn't 60, it was 80. Because I have some that are on the list that I know they've already paid, that were on I printed the list 2 days,
80,000 or 80 customers?
no, $80,000,
About 80,000 in the collection pile this year.
so,
This next time, so it's gone from 171 to 91, down to around 80.
171 or 196?
No, what we've actually had for
Shut-offs.
collection, shut off, the shut-off.
so I'm sorry, what were you asking?
You have the number of accounts that's associated with those?
Yes, I do, I think it was, I don't want to misquote, hold on. $204 accounts.
Do we know how many accounts are in the 196?
Okay, so there were less accounts in the 196, but bigger amounts. This time, what we have is, I did anything over $100. We had been doing like 400. Now it's anything over $100 is worth going after, especially if you had a previous, and the amounts are not as large. So that, to me, okay, so there's a few more.
We're getting.
But we're getting through
We're getting to the
people.
bottom of the pile.
There's only a couple repeat offenders. A lot of these names are new this year, and they're only one,
Cycle.
correct, that they're, not like I've seen in the past where it's several. So I think that's better. I know it's more accounts, but I think it's better.
What's gonna happen is that number is gonna drop right back down
Exactly,
again.
so I think we're, give it another couple times and we're gonna work out much better. Because then everybody's aware of it.
Oh,
So-
there's obviously a lot less effort in the lien process, because
That was kind of where I was going with that. Because I remember when indirects were discussed, that there was a line item there in a calculation, based on how many liens he had to do, that he had to charge us more for indirects.
So the goal is to try to cut them down, with the exception of, like the vacant houses and
vacant
stuff,
houses and
you can't do
bank-owned
anything
stuff.
about, because they're not paying, they're just gonna have it leaned, they don't care. And the ones that were making payments still had to be leaned. But at least they paid us more than
Right.
previous,
Remember, liens go down, that means it's less work for Rich.
What's indirects?
Just like there should be credit for how much water work we have to do for the town project.
And just so you, the sewer operating expense, the amount was incorrect. I don't know why I figured that. You basically have like $6,000 or $5,000 left in operating expenses.
Oh, yeah, expended 64,000.
Sorry.
We've got 54,000 left over, but we're only budgeted 70.
Yeah, it's 5,400, I believe, is what it's.
Yeah.
I just,
I like this number better.
I
Bad
know,
math.
but I know that's wrong. I know that because I made a point of looking at that today.
All right, any questions on this year's budget?
I'm good.
Webster True Up, IMA. We did have a meeting last week. Tom and I met with them over at their library. Very productive. We've got another meeting set, very productive. We went through the the current IMA, the current section of it, the part that's called amendments in that big stack. We went through everything except for operating expense and capital, the two sticking points we've had. And we have a meeting set up for, I think, 2 days after Tom gets back from Florida. It's the third week in February. To start, we're going to work just on capital. It's great. We meet in the library. Library closes at 8 o'clock, so the meeting has to be done at 5 minutes of 8. It worked out very well. We'll see, and I've been in contact with Paul Brinkman, and I want to get him the information we've got here and get his feedback on the capital chapter, so that we're prepared for that. But we do need to set up, they did ask, Tom Andrade sent an email over last week, 2 weeks ago, asking for dates for our spring meeting to talk about capital projects. That is going to be interesting this time. The problems they had with Synagro and getting for where they get rid of their sludge, that they're fearful that is going to go away. They're just going to be cut off
With Synagro,
with Synagro.
it's a guarantee, July.
And then there's back and forth about whether or not they can get into Upper Blackstone. But they're looking at converting the liquid waste to cake. And that's very expensive.
Possibility to still put the process in place and the operating cost goes up tremendously.
It's very expensive, so that will be, I'm sure, will be discussed at that point. They're looking at it. So we need to come up with some dates between, let's see, let me pull up my calendar. We are meeting in Webster on, let's see, he comes back on the 17th. We're meeting on the 19th in Webster to talk about the next IMA meeting. So the weekend of the 22nd, or the week of the 22nd, or we get into March. But sooner rather than later, because that's all budgetary.
Looking at a Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday seem to work out good with them.
I can do Thursday the 26th.
Does that seem to work for Thursday, the 26th? To meet with Webster to talk about capital? I can send it over to them. If it's not the 26th, then
It'll be following that we have our meeting.
following week we have our meeting on the 4th. So it would be into the following week. Either that week or, on a Thursday, we can,
Fine with the 26th.
26th work?
I'm still in therapy for this thing for the next 2 months, every Tuesday, Thursday. So,
Okay. If we can get a quorum, then we can get the capital projects, and then we can get the paperwork over to you so you
Yeah.
can review it. So 26th, see if we can get 26th February. 26, let's see, capital meeting. Can you send that out tomorrow morning?
Mhm.
Tom Andrade. I think I forwarded you into that.
Yep,
Well, actually, you sent it out to us.
yep, I have it.
Okay. We'll look, we can get a quorum there on the 26th. Okay. Superintendent's report.
You guys are aware of Patterson Ave, that'll be fixed tomorrow. The other thing is a secondary operator's out with a knee injury. It's already gone in, he's gonna be MRI'd soon, and
Okay.
we'll see
You
what
want to
happens.
talk about,
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
we'll see what
okay, yeah.
happens, that's it.
we can, okay.
So what's the appropriation for the 18 F-150 from water to sewer?
That's up to the board what they want to do. They can either donate it over, or they can put some kind of monetary value by the value of the truck itself, which I'd have to get through.
Last meeting.
Huh?
This is what we talked about last meeting.
There was no, I didn't hear anything as far as what you wanted to do, as far as either monetary or just a donation from the water to the sewer.
No,
I don't.
the plan you proposed. This is what you're referencing.
Just on that was part of the program.
This was
for the-
only
for the
part of what
capital.
he was
That was just
talking
part
about,
of it for the
yeah.
capital for the sewer.
Yeah.
That's all, just for that year. You guys know about the plan of.
Looks like the last one he's got there covers kind of the rest of that,
Yeah,
28 to 30.
yeah. Like I said, I want to spread Patterson Ave out a little bit, and then Tanyard Road's the next thing on the line to be revamped, because that's a major station. But it wasn't so long ago we did do the pump work there, so it does have some time left to, aside from regular issues that come up here and there.
So you say year 27, 28.
Yep.
You're saying that fiscal year?
Yeah, for 27, we'll start to implement the plan, and the engineering all involved to do Patterson Ave, and then put it to fruition after that. And like the water, we evaluate the trucks every couple of years to see if we needed one or not. I think we'll be all right for a while after that point. On both departments.
Any other questions on the,
Tanyard Road, are you looking at just replacing pumps with the same pumps, or are you looking?
I'd like to, I see.
Same
if
pumps,
we-
sumps, and electrical components?
Yeah, anything in there that's needing of upgrading to new pumps or new components as far as VFDs and things like that, I want to look at that. I don't know yet till we get to that point but,
Do you have VFDs there now, or is it
Yeah.
just?
but some of the systems, we've got the old bubbler in there too, and we got some old stuff in there too, but it's working right now.
So are we still green communities? Dudley still green communities?
I believe so.
Yes, as far as I know.
Should be talking with somebody in the town about seeing if he can get green communities money to upgrade pumps. And
Yeah, we tried to do something like that before and ended up going to them, not to us.
Yeah, I know, that's what they do, but you should at least
Yeah.
present it each time.
I always bring it up all the time and see what's out there for grants and stuff for that.
'Cause I was just in a meeting with National Grid days ago, and they're pushing a lot of the VFDs and stuff at the water plants,
Yeah.
lighting, pumps. If you needed to, insulate or build.
I did some of those lighting
that
upgrades for
stuff.
green communities back for the stations and all the sewer and water and all that stuff, so it helps us there.
But with your gas and heating prices, maybe it'd be worth seeing if you get money out of them to do some insulation and, tighten up the envelope.
I got what's his name's number there for, I forgot his name.
Oh, from National Grid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sean, yeah. I got
For
the right one.
Tanyard and for Patterson, for that matter.
But even like, I know the treatment plant's new, but if they didn't do proper insulation and stuff, that, if you have them come out and evaluate it, they'll come out and look at it and say, oh, well, if you do this, this, and this, you can save a lot of energy. As we saw, our electric bills are not cheap, so.
Do the tanks affect the heat in that building? In the treatment plant?
I would assume so.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Groundwater's 50 degrees.
Yeah.
It's lower than that now.
I know it keeps it cool in the summertime.
Yes, I mean, it has to, just physically it would have to. I mean,
So
I
it,
assume does.
it,
It has that coating, so the tanks don't sweat during the summer,
But
so
it
it
still
probably insulates
transfers
it
heat.
slightly from taking on, but
We're still.
The sheer surface area of them alone.
But you can actually tell because in the SCADA system, you see the temperature of the water, you can see when it's running during the day and versus at night, the temperature of the water actually going through the plant has changed. So,
well, give them a call and see if there's something we can do. Okay. Comments? Nope. Okay. Board comments? Sean?
I think I have enough already.
I had someone approach me in a local establishment about a concern with their water service at their house. I just want to say thank you. I've either sent an email or made a phone call, and within 2 days, that customer had an answer. Reach out. If you go out on social media, you're just pissing and moaning to the masses. Give us a call. We'll work it. We'll get you the answers you need. But thank you for that help for that customer. They were very relieved with their answers.
I have 3 things.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Just to think about if you're going to have any warrant articles for May, to start working on them so that we can have them ready for the Maytown meeting and not be behind the 8 ball.
Okay.
Just as something. What was, I just want to put it in my minutes that, are you for the GAC thingamajiggy from Ty and Bond, are you going to look for other engineering? Are you going to get other quotes? What?
Be my opinion.
I just want to have something to finish that
Did you
off.
did you read through that contract? Give that back?
Yeah, I didn't, I don't get why, I wanted to call him, but it just, things piled up on, life piled up on me, and I didn't get a chance to find out why it only goes to 60% and
So, I mean,
why there's so much that isn't
There's
included.
very
in it.
little that's included in this, and, they say
Yeah, what do we need?
60% design documents.
I'll call Jeff tomorrow anyway, ask questions about that anyway. I plan on doing that.
It says design documents will include manufacturer's drawings of the original equipment and piping.
That should have been
Should already
We
included.
should have all that in the
design.
O and M.
Some of that, a lot of that should have been included already in that.
We should all have all that in the O and M manual.
Do you want to revisit it another
60%
meeting?
documents will include provisions for work associated with the recommendations from Task 1. Task 1 was media evaluation. What's there to evaluate?
if we have to, that part, it sounds like the latter part is probably just a cut and paste thing, maybe.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, 25,000 to say they're going to evaluate the media.
but
which-
that is to see if, the conversation was to see if DEP will allow us to change the media that we have in there. The original vendor on the media sold that part of the business off to another company who is, who's a little bit more, they're not very quick on giving quotes or responses and/or the cost, because now we can't be that competitive. It's a single source at that point, where we can see what other media we can use in there. But as it's written right now, from they understand, is that we have to replace with the same type.
That's how it works.
So,
Yeah, there was, I think,
or if we can change this.
I seem to remember from last year's April convention thing there that they talked about that there were 2 different kinds of media that can go into them. But the one that's not activated carbon is
talking
not as efficient.
Resin as opposed to GAC, which is 2 completely different treatment technologies.
Right.
What he's saying is whether it's Calgon's GAC or
DuPont's case.
DuPont, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, GAC
brand,
should be
but
GAC.
Is there a single owner of GAC that's not a Chinese company right now? I think China owns every single manufacturer of GAC.
Which means tariffs.
But the point is whatever you spec for GAC is what you have to go with.
Yeah.
You know, that's what, and my guess is DEP would tell you have to do a pilot study on a new GAC if you're gonna do that. It just means more money for the engineers. So I would try to stick with the same GAC.
That and the disposal costs.
Yeah,
That's
so
always big.
is there anything preventing us from ordering the GAC now? You say that there's they're slow on getting you a quote, but we're talking about replacing in 2 years, not now. So we can order the GAC and have pallets of it sitting on site, right?
We could.
All right, get pricing now and see if you need the budget to buy it.
So what I'm hearing is we table this.
That's what I was, do you want me to table it to the next meeting? I have no problem, I just wanted to have an end
Yeah, I
result.
mean, based on this scope,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Till we can get some answers.
Maybe we ought to have Jeff come in here
Yeah.
and discuss things with us on this and why he came up with this too firsthand instead of me
But what's
playing
this-
third party.
what's the scope to 60%? When did we get the other 40 to get it to 100%?
Yeah.
It's not covered.
Yeah, let me see if I can get him in
We got
here.
more
I wouldn't be
exclusions than we do
disgruntled.
that's included in this.
Right.
And-
It just, that doesn't make sense to any of the other
And I can get
quotes
the,
we've ever gotten from them.
what did you want to look at? I have it written down on the other page. If it was included in the,
The OMM, yeah.
oh, wait,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
thank you. It was on the other, thank you. I will look for that as well. Then my last question is, so you need to meet again, correct?
For the budget, yes.
You're better off.
I don't think we can leave it until
You're better
March
off-
to turn in a final budget.
To schedule that, tell me something so that I can make sure that we can get rooms and stuff, because there's a lot of meetings going on currently. So that's all I,
Budget season.
yeah, and, you know, with the, all the other stuff. So that's why, I know it's gonna take you a little bit of time, but I'm sure in 2 weeks you'd have something.
You have to present to FinCom, whatever.
I don't have any dates
Another
yet.
March?
They wanted,
Yeah, I don't have
they
anything
wanted the
official.
budget like on the 19th of
He just wanted
January.
something to look at, just to gawk at. That's all he really kind of wanted right now.
Just send them the one line item of index cut now.
So that's all. Would you like to choose the next meeting date? So I can,
That would
do you
be
think
here.
you'll have it ready in 2 weeks?
There's a possibility, but do you want me to Zoom from Florida?
That's right, you're not here. When
What,
do you-
3
when
weeks?
are you gone?
The 18th into that weekend.
That's right, I'm
We haven't
sorry.
approved that vacation, so don't worry
18th
about
to
it.
what, the 22nd? Just like 4 days?
Yeah, I'm only like 3 days out of work.
So if you can have one on the 25th,
Yeah.
you will not be in this room.
I'm in a meeting right now, Sarah.
25th, well, we're meeting on the 26th
Okay.
with Webster. Yeah, I mean, we can meet 2 days. Doesn't matter to me.
I'm just throwing, but you would not be able to meet in this room because the planning board, unless they usually have 2 meetings a month, but sometimes they don't have that one if they don't have any A&Rs or something. So it all depends, but just know that you could be in the back room, that's all. Which it may be warmer, so
I was
that's
gonna
not a bad
say,
thing.
that one has heat.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, why in February, when the blowers go on, it gets colder?
Air conditioning.
They're having problems with the heating system.
No kidding.
Surprise. Listen,
They just rehabbed that last year for like huge money,
but this is separate.
$250,000.
This is separate from all of that,
Other
and
building.
this
Always
was,
separate something.
last week it was 35 degrees in here.
Well, then
So,
outside.
yeah, so,
About 3 minutes in between the AC and the heat and the control damper going off.
Yeah.
You can hear it all going gee, gee.
yep.
So
So-
just shut it off. Oh my God.
So do you want to,
It's air
do you
conditioning.
want me to go for the 25th?
I mean, it's fine with me.
Yeah, I might not be able to, but I'll see if I can move some things around.
I mean, you tell me, I will do whatever you guys works for you guys. But you do need Brian here, I apologize, I wasn't even thinking you were gone.
Yeah, but
I try to mentally block those dates out.
You're kind of out of time, then we need to finalize the budget, and then you gotta do a
So
rate.
then that means that the following, so you'd
trying to
meet on the
run that water.
25th, and then you have a meeting the following week, your normal March meeting.
Right. And then, you know, you have between that and April to get the rate study to put together.
Correct.
Well,
Well, March, you
not really,
really.
when
Can you
April,
schedule no
the
rain
April
breaks
meeting
in
is
that
when you're
period
saying?
of time?
Yeah, so you need to have the
Oh,
information
there's
in
frosties
March.
going on?
Right, that's
He
what I'm
needs to
saying.
have
You
the
gotta-
rate study information for March.
Oh.
That's not
'cause
gonna
you
give
have to post
him.
it for 2 weeks before we have the rate hearing.
Right, so, and I need to get it at least a week before that to,
That's what I was pushing for earlier, is
I-
that we don't have time. If you work backwards, we have to have the rates done, at least through us, to agree on what we're gonna do for rates.
Correct.
For the March meeting,
correct. So,
which is the next month's meeting.
so you need to meet sooner than the 25th. Thank you, I was getting there, I'm just a little slow.
I was waiting for you guys to figure it
It's a
out.
long day. Stop, just stop. So, I mean, I don't know,
That's why I said work it backwards, you can figure out.
so then you'd be looking at meeting sometime next week.
Said something like that.
Because Brian's got the following,
Because you do it the Tuesday before you go.
the Tuesday, I,
Take off.
Tuesdays are hard for me, but
I mean,
that's okay. I can make it.
I mean, the budget part shouldn't take that long.
it should not.
It should be a quick meeting.
So if you want to do the 17th, I will make sure we have a room somewhere.
Yeah, the nobody has meetings on Tuesday nights here.
Board of Health, Library,
Board of Health meets at 5:30.
no, they don't, not anymore, they meet at 6 or 6:30. Library Commissioners meet at 6 or
I
6:30.
can do an earlier meeting, I don't know if everybody else can.
I'm back in town about 4 o'clock, so.
I mean, I'm
I'm
in town, so.
here till 4, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, if you wanted, I could do 4 o'clock on the 17th if you needed to.
Whatever you want. Whatever works for, like I said, I'm here till 4 anyway, so it doesn't
I
matter.
don't leave until Wednesday, so I'm clear the day before.
So what time?
I could do early, I could probably get here for around 4.
All right, you want me to
That
post it
sound
for?
good to you?
Yeah, it'd be close at 4, but I'll try.
You want to do 4:30?
4:30, I could definitely.
I could definitely do.
4:30, yeah,
That's fine.
that gives me a little bit of cushion for 495. You never know on that damn road.
All right, I'll post the meeting for 2/17 at 4:30.
And 17
That's easy, I'll just stay
February
here.
Not AM.
No.
26.
I'll be
Yeah,
here.
04:30, yeah.
My phone
16,
thought.
30, huh?
Thank you, those were my 3 questions I had.
16:30. Budget. Okay. Yep, that works out good, it's 4:30, because my Tuesday night stuff is at 6 o'clock. so. Okay,
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Good thing.